Crystal, this is Dr. Jester. I wanted to go over some of the details of your paper with you. Um, as I open this up, one of the very first things I note is that we have some style issues going on. And I really need to address these with you because that's really detrimental to the overall paper. So let's just really talk about the issues going on. So the very first thing I noticed, you have very large text. If I bring this up, it tells me, let me get that back up, it tells me that it's 16-point font. I also see that it is right justified. Okay, both those things are two major problems as we begin. So those are style issues that need to be corrected. So what it tells me is that you really haven't done a close evaluation of the style guide that's been provided to you. So with the style guide, solid academic writing, while you're not told you have to do this according to style, at the same time, solid academic writing in style is required. So you want this to be 12-point font. You've got it single space. It has to be double space. So these are some basic writing issues that you need to rectify to begin with for an acceptable paper. So never write justified paper. Never have the font that large, and always double space academic writing. So that's my first critique, and I want to help you here because I think you need some issues. I see a lot of potential as far as much of the content. You really cover the content well. You've talked about a lot of things that are very important, but the whole issue is the way it's being presented. And if you present something in a way that the academic reader is going to see, and for a person like myself, when I open up a paper, it's hard for me to look past the stylistic issues to get to the meat of the matter. So that is one of the first challenges you're always going to face. So I want to help you with that. So here's what I want to tell you. Every paper needs an introduction. Every paper needs an introduction. For example, this paper needs an introduction that says Christians and Jews have been around for a long time. They are both established monotheistic religions, yet there are many things that keep them apart as misunderstandings. Then you say, this paper will discuss some of those understandings, along with how Christians might learn from Jews, and how some Christians view the modern nation state of Israel. So what I just did right there, I provided you with a couple of sentences that introduce the subject, and then I gave you your basic thesis statement of what the paper should cover, which you actually do. You cover that. But you really have no introduction to the paper. You immediately go into misconceptions. So you need an introduction, you need a thesis. Second of all, you've got this item here in parentheses that academic style, you are quoting from a particular text. You need to name the author. You have to provide the date. If you quote the actual words of the author, those should be in quotation marks, and you give the page number. If you're not quoting from the author, but the idea comes from the author, then you just give the author's name and the date of publication. So those are some basic issues. Now, this is really, to be honest, it's really an opinion piece. What is an opinion piece? Meaning it's all your ideas, it's you talking, you're not really referencing sources. And when I say opinion piece, I mean that all through this document you have got continual references to I feel, I see, I know, I've discovered, I understand, I'm learning. In academic writing, again, you need to really familiarize yourself with the style guide. That needs to be your academic Bible, so to speak. Know exactly how to format something. Know exactly what the style should look like. Know how to space things. Know where things go. So in academic writing, one thing you don't do is use I, me, my, ours, us, we. Nor do you say you, yours. Everything needs to be in third person. When you write in third person, you're going to write more carefully, more clearly, and you're stating an academic opinion. You're not stating your own opinion. You're writing from the academic perspective, and that's what this is all about. It's you learning to write from an academic perspective as a person being educated in these things. Now, as far as the content is concerned, you actually really cover some great things there. You've got some great ideas. but the style issues are just really distorting the overall presentation of your paper. You want it to look professional. So let me write this in real quick, just right at the top here. I'll change this later. So first thing you need is an introduction, okay? That's going to be your basic beginning of the topic. You know, Christians and Jews have existed for a long time, monotheistic religions, but there's many misunderstandings. And so then also provide that thesis statement. Then in the first part, let's just put I. You're going to talk about those misunderstandings. Then in the second part, you're going to talk about what Christians can learn about Judaism, positives they need to learn, need to incorporate possibly. And then 3, views of the modern nation state of Israel by contemporary Christians. Then the conclusion, reference section. Okay, you're quoting from the textbook right here, but you have no reference section. These two always go together. If you have a source listed in your paper, you have to have a reference section. And my requirement is, I actually don't make this requirement, I suggest it, many people don't listen, but I always suggest if you have a page of text, you have 2 sources to cover those 2 pages. That means if you have 3 pages of text, you have 6 sources. You're an academic person, you're writing academically, you're writing professionally. So if you'll learn to cut out the first person and second person, write more academically, make sure you provide a clear introduction with a thesis, organize your paper. It actually is organized. The style issues are the detriment here. If you'll do those things, I think you'll have a much better paper, and your grade's certainly going to reflect that. I have no problems with the content per se. It is it needs to be a little bit better organized, but the style issues are the major issues here. And I want to encourage you, if you want to improve, you need to get that style guide. I've provided it for you. It's also in the Student Success Center. You can get those there. Read through those. Determine what plagiarism is. Go there and see what a good paper looks like. Get some examples. Read through those style guides and know exactly how to format your paper, know exactly how to quote from a source, know exactly how to format the reference section, and get that paper looking professional, because when you have the appearance of looking good, it gives a more favorable perspective. So my immediate perspective when I saw your paper is, oh no. I read through it, I saw some great things there, so I see the potential. So I just want to encourage you, if you'll get those style issues down, I think you've got something going. But you're going to have to learn to write that way and get the style issues down correct, and you'll be good to go. If you have any questions about this, send me a note in the individual forum, and I'll be happy to help in any other way.